Attorney General Ford, thank you so much for being with me today. How would you define the rule of law so that teenagers can understand it?
Well, that's a great question, and kudos to you for even thinking about this. I think the best way to describe the rule of law is to do what your mom and dad tell you, right? That's the basic premise. It's to follow the rules. It's to know what the rules are first off, and then to follow them, and to ensure that you try to do what's right, and that you don't try to get around the rules in order to get to a particular goal. So I think that's probably one of the easiest way to understand what rule of law means.
And what inspired you to become an attorney general?
You know, I don't know if I was ever inspired to be an attorney general per se, right? I didn't grow up saying I want to be attorney general. That wasn't what I wanted to be when I grew up. I didn't know what an attorney general was. But I've been a lawyer for over 20 years now, and I didn't even want to practice law initially. I was going to open up some schools, and I wanted to use the law to kind of know how to think critically about those things. But I began practicing law and loved it. I loved the rule of law. I loved being able to advise clients, particularly school districts, early on what the rule of law meant for the way they had to interact with, for example, students, and what it meant for students relative to have their rights, First Amendment or due process rights and things of that sort. And so I ran for office as Attorney General, but I was first a state senator for Nevada, and I learned of the opportunity to represent more people, to get more things done quicker on a wider basis. And doing a lot easier. And so being Attorney General was what I saw as an opportunity to do that, and it's been the best job I've ever
had. And what challenges have you faced as an Attorney General, and how did you navigate those challenges?
Well, you know, I said earlier that the rule of law means following the rules, and I said it's important to know the rules, but you also know that there's a rule that says ignorance of the law is no excuse. And the reason why I say that is because the law is so broad. There are so many rules and areas of law that you have to kind of know and learn about it. And clearly you don't know everything. And so one of the biggest challenges is just getting your arms wrapped around all of the nuances of the laws that you do know and learning about laws that you don't know. But you know, the great thing about being Attorney General is that I'm one person, but I'm surrounded by 399 coworkers who have expertise in these areas and are able to educate me. We're able to rely upon one another. But certainly, understanding the breadth of the law has been something that has been a challenge.
And lastly, with technology growing very quickly, how can teenagers stay safe on the internet today?
Wow, that's a great question. And I think if I had the answer to that, I wouldn't be Attorney General. I'd be getting paid a lot more money than that. But look, I think there are a few handy tips that we can offer teenagers. First of which, we need to offer it to parents as well. Parents need to understand the importance of engaging with their teenagers, knowing what they're doing. And look, I have 3 sons and a nephew I've raised. They range from age 17 to 29. And to be sure, there's no way on earth that I would know what my 17-year-old is doing on his telephone the entire time. But talking to him about the importance of maintaining your privacy, the dangers of online predators is important for parents to do. But from a child's perspective, from a teenager's perspective, it's important for you to know as well. You've heard the old adage, don't talk to strangers, right? That's especially important on the internet. You know, there are so many things you play now, Call of Duty and these other games that have strangers that you're playing with. And it's one thing to play games with them, but to give them your information, your name, your birthday, and tell them where you live. Those types of things are very dangerous. And just be aware that there are predators out there. There are people out there who want to take advantage of you, who want to trick you, who want to engage with you so that they can take advantage of you. And I don't mean just physically, but sometimes financially. Or sometimes they want to use you to get to your parents. And so being cognizant of that fact, recognizing that you should be very cautious with your personal data and personal information, I think is one of the best ways to stay safe online.
Thank you so much.